Good evening, all, and welcome to Lullaby Legends with Lack. I'm your host, Caleb Lack, and in each episode I tell one or two short stories for you to relax by, spanning the range from the dawn of civilization to the age of information. Tonight, we have a folk tale from Tanzania. It's called The Ape, the Snake, and the Lion. Long, long ago, there lived in a village called Kijiji, a woman whose husband died, leaving her with a little baby boy. She worked hard all day to get food for herself and the child, but they lived very poorly and were most of the time half-starved. When the boy, whose name was Mvulana, began to get big, he said to his mother, "Mother, we are always hungry. What work did my father do to support us?" His mother replied, "Your father was a hunter. He set traps, and we ate what he caught in them." "Oh," said Mvulana, "that's not work, that's fun. I too will set traps and see if we can't get enough to eat." The next day he went into the forest and cut branches from the trees, and returned home in the evening. The second day he spent making the branches into traps. The third day he twisted coconut fiber into ropes. The fourth day he set up as many traps as he could. The fifth day he set up all the rest of the traps. The sixth day he went to examine the traps, and found that they had caught so much game, besides what they needed to feed themselves. And so he took a great quantity to the big nearby town, where he sold it and bought corn and other things, and their house was, finally, for the first time since his father had died, full of food. And as this good fortune continued with hunting, he and his mother lived very comfortably. But after a while, when he went to his traps, he found nothing in them, for day after day after day. Although he despaired, he still kept going out and checking his traps. And one morning, he found that an ape had been caught in one of the traps. He was about to kill it, he was so hungry, when it said, "Son of Adam, I am Nieni, the ape. Do not kill me. Take me out of this trap and let me go. Save me from the rain, that I may come and save you from the sun someday." So, Mvulana took him out of the trap and let him go. When Nieni had climbed up in a tree, he sat on a branch and said to the child, "For your kindness, I will give you a piece of advice. Believe me, men are all bad. Never do a good turn for a man. If you do, he will harm you at the first opportunity." And then he swung off. The next day, Mvulana found a snake in the same trap. He started to the village to give the alarm, but the snake shouted, "Come back, son of Adam. Don't call the people from the village to come and kill me. I am Nyoka, the snake. Let me out of this trap, I pray you. Save me from the rain today, so that I may be able to save you from the sun tomorrow, if you should be in need of help." So, once again, the youth let him go. And as he went, the snake said, "I will return your kindness if I can, but do not trust any man. If you do him a kindness, he will do you an injury in return at the first opportunity." And off he slithered on the ground. The third day, Mvulana found a lion in the same trap that had caught the ape and the snake, and he was afraid to go near it. But the lion said, "Don't run away. I am Simba Kongwe, the very old lion. Let me out of this trap, and I will not hurt you. Save me from the rain, so that I may save you from the sun, if you should need help." So he was led out of the trap. And Simba Kongwe, before going on his own way, said, "Son of Adam, you have been kind to me, and I will repay your kindness if I can. But never do a kindness to a man, or he will repay you with unkindness." Now the next day, a man was caught in the same trap. And when the youth released him, he repeatedly assured that he would never forget the service he had done in restoring his life and saving him. Well, after that, it seemed that Mvulana had caught all the game that could be taken in the traps. And so he and his mother became hungry every day, with nothing to satisfy their empty bellies, just as they had been before. At last he said to his mother one day, "Mother, make me 7 cakes of the little corn we have left, and I will go hunting with my bow and arrows." So she baked him the cakes, and he took them and his bows and his arrows and went into the forest. He walked and walked, but could see no game, and he finally found that he had lost his way and had eaten all of his cakes but one. Still he went on and on, not knowing whether he was going from his home or toward it, until he came upon the wildest and most desolate-looking woods he had ever seen. He was so wretched and tired, he felt he must lay down and die, when suddenly he heard someone calling him. And then looking up, he saw Niani, the ape, who said, "Son of Adam, where are you going?" "I don't know," he said sadly. "I'm lost." Well, well," said the ape, "don't worry. Just sit down here and rest until I come back, and I will repay the kindness you once showed me with kindness." Then Niene went off to some gardens and stole a bunch of ripe fruits and bananas and brought them to Mvulana and said, "Here's plenty of food for you. Is there anything else you want? Would you like a drink?" And before the youth could answer, he ran off, got a gourd, and brought it back full of water. So the youth ate and drank all the water he needed, and then said to each to the other, "Goodbye till we meet again." And off they went on their separate ways. When Mvulana had walked a great deal farther without finding which way he should go, he met Simba Kongwe, who asked, "Where are you going, son of Adam?" And the youth answered as sadly as before, "I don't know, I'm lost." "Come, cheer up," said the old lion, "and rest yourself here a little. I want to repay the kindness today, the kindness you showed me on a former day." So Mvulana sat down. Simba Kongwe went away, but soon returned with some game he had caught, and then he brought some fire, and the young men cooked the game and ate it. When he had finished, he felt a great deal better, and they bade each other goodbye for the present, and each went on his way. After he had traveled another very long distance, he came to a farm and was met by a very, very old woman who said to him, "Stranger, my husband has been taken very sick, and I'm looking for someone to make him medicine. Won't you make it?" But he answered, "My good woman, I'm not a doctor. I'm a hunter, and I've never used medicine in my life. I cannot help you." When he came to the road leading to a big city, he saw a well with a bucket standing near it, and he said to himself, "That's just what I want. I'll take a drink of nice water. Let me see if I can reach it." As he peeped over the edge of the well to see if the water was high enough, what should he see but a giant snake, which, when it saw him, said, "Son of Adam, wait a moment." Then it came out of the well and said, "How? Don't you know me?" "I certainly do not," said the youth. "Well, well," said the snake, "I could never forget you. I am Nioka, whom you released from the trap. You know I said, 'Save me from the rain, and I will save you from the sun.' Now, you are a stranger in the town to which you're going. Therefore, hand me your little bag, and I will place in it the things that will be of use to you when you arrive there." So, Imvulana gave Nioka the little bag, and he filled it with chains of gold and silver, and told him to use them freely for his own benefit. Then they parted, very friendly. When the youth reached the city, the first man he met was the one that he had released from the trap, who invited him to go home with him, which he did, and the man's wife made them supper. However, as soon as he could get away unobserved, the man went to the Sultan and said, "There's a stranger come to my house with a bag full of chains of silver and gold, which he says he got from a snake that lives in a well. But, although he pretends to be a man, I know that he is a snake who has the power to look like a man." When the Sultan heard this, he sent some soldiers, who brought Mvulana and his little bag before them. When they opened the bag, the man who was released from the trap persuaded the people that some evil would come out of it and affect the children of the Sultan and the children of the vizier. The people got excited and angry and tied the hands of Mvulana behind him. But then the great snake came out of the well and arrived at the town at this time. And he went and he lay at the feet of the man who'd said all those bad things about Mvulana. And when the people saw this, they said to the man, How is this? There's the great snake that lives in the well, and he stays by you. Tell him to go away." But Nioka would not stir. So they untied the young man's hands and tried in every way to make amends for having suspected him of being a wizard. Then the Sultan asked him, "Why should this man invite you to his home and then speak ill of you?" And Mvulana related all that had happened to him, and how the ape, the snake, and the lion had cautioned him about the results of doing any kindness for a man. And the Sultan said, "Although men are often ungrateful, they are not always so. Only the bad ones. As for this fellow, he deserves to be put in a sack and drowned in the sea. He was treated kindly and returned evil for good." That's all for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this story and that you will come back for more. If you have feedback, a suggestion, or a request, feel free to reach out and let me know. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the Knocknitsa bite.